Hi, I'm Nicole, and I'll be taking you through this ballet floor bar program. Everyone has a different idea of how they should warm up, or even if they should warm up at all. But the importance of a slow, progressive warm-up, including stretching, cannot be overemphasized for the dancer. It has two main functions: to enhance performance and to help prevent injury. Some of the aims of your warm-up will be to increase the mobility of your joints and the flexibility of your muscles. You'll also be gradually increasing the temperature of the muscles and therefore increasing the blood supply to the muscles, bringing the oxygen needed for energy. The warm-up is an important time when you can work on specific steps or areas in your technique which are needing more attention. It's also a good psych-up period when you can focus specifically on your own body. Stretching should always be included in your warm-up program because the dancer will always need greater than the average range of movement in their joints and muscles. To achieve and maintain good flexibility, it's important that you stretch regularly. You should always be warm when you're stretching, and you should never bounce. For example, if you want to stretch the muscles at the back of the thigh and you bounce forward over your leg like this, you're actually causing these muscles to shorten and contract each time you bounce forward over the leg. And therefore you're trying to stretch shortened, tight muscles, and this will greatly increase your risk of injury. So it's important to remember not to bounce when you are stretching. Another good thing is that stretching helps to alleviate muscle soreness, especially soreness related to overuse. And it helps to develop the body's ability to absorb forces on muscles, tendons and ligaments. This floor bar program will progressively warm you up in a ballet-specific way. It's great for when you're on holidays or if you're injured because the whole program is done on the floor and therefore the body is well supported throughout. None of the exercises should cause you any pain. If you are experiencing pain for any reason, it's important that you seek the proper advice as early as possible. Please feel free to stop the video at any stage if you wish to repeat any of the exercises. Okay, so let's get started. Start by giving the legs a shake to relax the muscles. Throughout the program, it's important to remember whenever you're sitting that you're sitting high on the tailbones and not allowing your back to just sink down into the floor. So we're going to start with ankle circles and then gradually work our way up through the body as we warm up. Let's have the legs about hip width apart and we'll hold on to the knees so that you don't allow the legs to roll in and out as you work the feet. So just circling out with the feet, and 2 and 3 and 4, making as large a circle as you can, just with the feet, 7 and 8. Then back the other way, in and 2 and 3, keeping the legs still, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. From there, we move up to the hips, so we'll be lying on your back, pull the right knee up towards the chest, and circle the knee outwards 8 times. 2 and 3 and 4. Keep the circles fairly small but smooth. And 7 and 8. Then back in the other way, so you're circling in towards the midline of the body. And 3 and 4. This is just for the front of the hip. And 6 and 7 and 8. Now the other leg, pull the knee up to the chest and circle outwards. And 2 and 3 and 4, keeping it nice and controlled. And 7 and 8, and back in the other way, in and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And now moving up to the lower back, then both knees up to the chest and have the arms relaxed out from the shoulders. And we're going to take the legs across to the right side and then smoothly bring them back to the centre. Then rocking across to the left and back to the middle. And try to keep the knees together all the way and keep the whole exercise as smooth as possible. This is a good exercise for warming up the lower back. And to the right, and centre, and to the left. Now staying on that side, we're going to make a semicircle with the feet, keeping the toes on the floor. As you come to the middle, you arch the back up, and then when you bring the legs around to the side, you tuck the head into the knees. So it's circling around, arching the back, and then curling into the knees. So it's arching up, and then rounding the back into the other side. And circling around, and in. Okay, now coming back up to sitting, the next exercise is good for control and coordination around the lower back and stomach areas. Sitting high on the tailbones, place the hands out beside the hips so that you can help support the lower back. We're going to do 2 bends with the knees, coming up towards the chest. Don't allow the back to sink down when you bend the knees up. Keep the back well lifted and down. And then 2 flexes with the feet. And stretch, and flex, and stretch. Now you do the same thing lying on your back. So it's bending up. Don't allow the back to come up there. Keep the stomach firm. And down, and up, and down. And then the knees are straight as you flex the feet. And flex, and stretch. And again, up, and down, and up, and down. Flex, stretch, flex, stretch. And tummy's firm, down, and 2, and down, flex, stretch, flex, and stretch. Now we'll repeat the same combination using the arms. So bring the arms to first, and down, then to fifth, and down, and out to the side, and flex, and stretch. Arms to first, down, and to fifth, and out to the side, stretch, and flex, and stretch. Once again, 2, and 3, 4, and flex, stretch, flex, stretch, lying down, 2, and 3, 4, and flex, stretch, flex, stretch. From there, roll over onto your stomach, and now we'll repeat the same combination in this position. So it's bending the knees up twice, and when you bend the knees up, don't allow the hips to come up off the floor. Keep the tummy firm and the hips down on the floor. And stretch. When you flex the feet, keep the knees straight so that you're working the top of the legs. Don't allow the knees to just relax onto the floor. So let's try that again. Flexing the feet with the knees stretched, and then point the feet, keeping the knees straight. So it's bending up, and 2, and 3, and 4, and flex, stretch, flex, stretch, and bend, 2, 3, 4, and flex, stretch, flex, stretch, and again, 3, 4, and just the feet, 2, 3, 4, and last time, 2, 3, 4, and stretch, 2, 3, and 4. And now we move on to the lower back with another exercise to warm up the back. Relax the head down to the floor, and it's rolling up through the head first, then the neck, then the shoulders, and then the back. Keep the shoulders down when you get to the top, and then reverse that as you come down, and the head's the last thing to roll under. So it's head up first, then neck, and shoulders, and back, and down, 6, 7, 8, and head, 2, 3, 4, and down, 6, 7, 8, and last one, 2, 3, 4, and down, 6, 7, 8. And now you push up, taking the arm to fifth position, and down, and lifting up to fifth, keeping the shoulders down, and relax, and up, and down, and lifting up, and down. And if you're unable to lift the arm up to fifth at first, then just push up and transfer the weight across to one side and lift the arm just to arabesque. And get used to this position until you're strong enough to take the arm then up to 5th position. And relax down. And from there, circle the hands around to the side and link the fingers at the back, pulling the shoulders down and back. And now just to warm up the neck. So it's looking up and down and rolling up and down. So it's just for the neck and up and down. Then turning side to side and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Now we go on to a stretch for the shoulders. So relax the head down, pull the shoulders down and back, and just lift the hands up off the bottom. And relax down. So pull the shoulders down and back, and lifting the hands up as far as you can, and relax down. Shoulders down and back, and lift, and relax. And last one there, pulling the shoulders down and lifting up and down. And now we're going to finish off with a stretch for the quadriceps muscle on the front of the thigh. So staying on your stomach, pull the right foot up towards the bottom and feel the hip on that side pushing down towards the floor so that you get a good stretch along the front of the thigh. And now the last stretch for this section, pulling the left heel up towards your tail, press the left hip down towards the floor and relax it down. Turnout is specific to classical ballet and is something which the dancer is always working at. It's very important to develop good control and strength around the lower back and pelvic area so that the limbs can then work freely. The next sets of exercises will work on this area and on the deep turnout muscles in the buttock. So we'll start by lying on your back, have the feet about hip width apart, and don't turn the feet out as this puts more strain on the knees. So the feet are in line with the body. We're going to flatten the tummy, tighten the tail, and then lift the hips up off the floor so that they're in a straight line with the legs. As you come down, roll down through the back so that the back comes down first and then relax. So it's flattening the tummy, tilting the hips up towards you and then pushing up and smoothly down, rolling down through the back and relax. So it's flatten the tummy, tighten the tail and lift up and then slowly down through the back and relax. And one more there, flatten the tummy, tighten the tail and lift and rolling down through the back and relax. Now we do the same exercise but with the right leg crossed on top. So you tilt the pelvis firstly, pushing up, keeping both hips even as you go up. Don't allow the right hip to drop down with the leg. When you get to the top, try to press that knee out a bit further and then slowly roll down through the back and relax. So it's tighten the tummy, tighten the tail and lifting up, press the knee out a bit further and then smoothly down through the back and relax. And tummy, tail and lift, both hips evenly and slowly down and relax. And one more on this side, tummy, tail and lift, pressing the knee out at the top and then slowly down through the back and relax. And just shake the legs out in between. And now we'll try it on the other side. So crossing the left leg on top. Same thing, flatten the tummy, tighten the tail and then lift up. Now work the top of the leg as you press that knee further down towards the floor. Then slowly down through the back and relax. And tummy, tail and lift, pressing the knee out and smoothly down and relax. And again, tummy, tail, and lift, and coming down, and relax. And last one, tummy, tail, and lift, and smoothly down, and relax. And just give the legs a shake. So from there, we do a double retire exercise which continues to work on your turnout. Bend both legs up, keeping the ankles well supported. Don't allow the feet to just drop down onto the floor. Tighten the tummy and the tail and work the muscles at the top of your legs to try to turn the knees out a bit further. And then we're going to stretch the legs out in front of you, presenting the heels and the inside thighs as you're stretching out. And relax. So bending the knees up, tighten the tummy. As you turn the knees out a bit more, don't allow the back to arch up off the floor. Keep it well supported. And then stretching the legs out long in front of you. And relax. And bending up, tighten the tummy, open the knees out a bit further, and then pull the inside thighs long as you stretch the legs away. And relax. And one more there, bending the knees up. Keep the ankles well supported and really work the turnout as you straighten your legs down. All the way and relax. Okay, and now we roll over onto your stomach and we continue some more exercises for your turnout in this position. Place the feet on the demi-point, straighten the knees up, tighten the tummy and work the top of the legs to turn the legs out to a first position. And then just stretch your feet in that position. And relax. So it's up onto the demi-point, straighten the knees, tighten the tummy, and work the top of the legs, keeping the feet flexed. Now pull the inside thighs long as you stretch your feet. And relax. And demi-point, and stretch, and tummy, and tail, and stretching the feet. And last one now, onto the demi-point, straighten and turning out, and keep the legs pulling together as you stretch your feet, and relax. Now turning the legs back into a parallel position, bend the right knee up, keep the tummy firm, and use the top of both legs to turn out to a retire position. Make sure you don't allow the hip on this side to come up off the floor. Much better to keep that hip down and leave the foot up a bit higher. Turn the legs back in and relax down. So left leg bending up, work both legs evenly, and this is your supporting leg, so it's got to be stretching away from you, and turning back in and down. Right leg again, up, tighten the tummy and work the top of the legs, and coming back in and down, and left one up and turning out. Don't let the foot sickle, and coming back in and down. Okay, so now we'll do a stretch with those muscles that we've just been working. So lying on your back, cross the right leg on top and the right hand goes through the middle. You grab hold of the left shin and pull the knee up towards the chest. The right elbow is pushing that right knee further out to the side. It's important when you're stretching to get used to holding the stretched position for at least 30 seconds to 1 minute. And now we'll try the other leg on top. The left hand goes through the middle, grab hold of the left shin and pull the knee up to the chest. And use that left elbow to press the left knee out to the side. You should feel a good stretch up through the buttock on this one. Okay, the last exercise in this section is a double retire exercise, and it's the same combination as the exercise we did in the warm-up. So sitting high on the tailbones, we do 2 double retires, keeping the feet well supported, and then flexing the feet, turning out to a first position, and stretch. Lying down on the back, keeping the tummy firm so the back doesn't move, and really working the turnout all the way. Flex and stretch and sitting up, back well lifted, and 2, and just the feet, stretch, flex, stretch, and down, 2, 3, 4, and flex, stretch, flex, stretch. And now going through it with the arms. So the arms go to first, keeping the back lifted, 5th, down, and 2nd, 2, 3, 4, and 1st, down, and 5th, and long legs, 2, 3, 4, and up, and lift, and flex, 2, 3, 4, and down, and lift, and flex, 2, 3, 4. And now we do the same exercise over on your stomach. Take this one very slowly, and if you feel any discomfort in your back, hips or knees, then you're better not to continue. So it's bending both knees up slowly, keeping the tummy on the floor the whole time. Don't allow the hips to come up off the floor. And stretching out, and slowly bending. Don't let the feet stickle at all, keep the ankles supported, and stretch, and then just flex the feet, and stretch, and flex, pushing the heels to the floor, and stretch. So it's slowly up, and down, and up. Really work the top of the legs here, and down, and flex, stretch, long knees, and stretch, and up. Keep the tummy firm, and up, and down, and flex, stretch, and flex, and stretch. Last time, and up, and out, and up, and down, and flex, stretch, and flex, and stretch. Start this section with a stretch for the hamstring muscles, which are the muscles at the back of the thigh. So place the right foot up above the left knee and the left leg is turned out. The right hand gently stretches the knee down towards the floor. And then the opposite hand takes the foot and you stretch the leg up in front. It's important that the leg is straight, so if you can't reach the toes, then come down to the heel or to around the ankle. And the body is looking across the leg. Okay, and the left leg. Foot up above the knee, left hand gently presses the knee down towards the floor, and then the right hand takes the toes, and you're looking across the leg as you stretch it out. Make sure the back is kept well lifted, and that you don't allow yourself to sink down into the floor. And right leg again, foot above the knee, gently press the knee down, and then the opposite hand takes the foot, and you stretch both legs long away from the center. And then the left leg again, foot above the knee, gently stretch the knee down. Opposite hand takes the foot, and you're looking across the leg. Good. Okay, from there we continue with another stretch for the hamstrings, lying on your back. Legs are turned out, and we start with a retire with the right leg. Take the leg to attitude devant. The hand goes around the calf, and as you stretch the knee, you flex the foot and turn the leg out as much as you can. And down. Left leg, retire. Make sure you keep working hard with the supporting leg to keep it stretched and turned out. Take it behind the calf, flex the foot, and turn the leg out as much as you can. And down. Right leg retire, attitude devant, take the calf, and flex, and down, and left leg retire, attitude to the front, take it behind the calf, and flex, stretching both legs long, and down. Okay, and from there, roll over onto your left side, Make sure that the legs are in a straight line with the body and that the tummy and the tail are kept firm so that you don't rock backwards. Start with the foot flexed, and we're going to do a développé to the side. So it's a retiré, take hold of the heel, and then stretch it up to the side, and down. And again with a flexed foot, retiré, take the heel, stretch the legs up, and don't let your bottom stick out to the back, looking up and down. And with the pointed foot. So it's a high retiré, take the foot and stretching up, keeping the tummy in, and down, and again, retiré, take the foot, stretch both legs long, tail underneath you, and down. And now we swing around to the other side. Once again, make sure the legs are in a straight line with the body, and it's retiré with a flexed foot, take the heel, and stretching up, and down, and high retiré, attitude, and stretch, and down. Then with the foot pointed, retiré, take the toes, and stretching up, bottom leg stretches away from you, and down. Last one, retiré, take the foot, and stretching up, and down. Okay, now we come up to sitting to do a port de bras stretch. Bend the left knee in and cross the right foot on the outside of that knee. If you can't feel both tailbones sitting comfortably on the floor in that position, then bring the foot onto the inside of the knee. The right arm wraps around the leg and you grab hold of the foot, and the left arm stretches over in fifth position, looking up to the hand. Then you come up through second, keep the back well lifted, wrap the left arm around the knee and stretch over towards the left side. Make sure that you keep that right tailbone down on the floor so that you get a good stretch up through the body. And up through second, right arm wraps around and you're stretching over, looking up to the hand, and back's lifted, and then left arm around and reaching over and up. And now we try it with the left leg on top, so then the right leg in and the left foot on the outside of that knee. Left arm comes around the front and the right arm stretches over to fifth position. And nice second position of the arms as you come up through the middle, wrap the right arm around and stretching over and up. And again, left arm around the front and stretching over and lift, and right arm around and reaching over. Keep that left tailbone down on the floor and up. Okay, the next exercise is good for developing strength and control for adage work. So we start lying on your back, the legs are parallel, and we do a turned in retiré, take the knee across the body down to the floor, stretch both legs out, then as you open the right leg out to the side, the right hand goes under the tail with the palm down towards the floor, and the left hand supports the left hip so that you don't allow yourself to rock down to the floor on the right side. And then slowly close the legs back down. Left leg turned in retiré, take the knee across, stretch both legs out, then open the left leg to the side, left hand under the hip, and keep the right leg turning out as much as possible like a supporting leg and closing down. And right leg again, up, and take it across. Stretch both legs out long and open the leg out to the side and slowly down. Keep the tummy firm throughout the whole exercise. And up and across and stretching both legs out. Open out to the side, making a long circle away from the body and slowly closing down. And then from there, we flex both feet, take the right leg up to 90 degrees, carry it across the body, down to the floor, Bring it back to the middle, turning both legs out as much as you can, and down. Left leg up, take it across, getting both knees straight, turning out, and down. And right leg up, and across, and bring it back, keep the supporting leg straight, and down. Last one now, left leg, and carry it across, and keep the tummies in, and close. And now we roll over onto your stomach for the next part of this exercise. So the legs are turned out, and you do a retire with the right leg. Make sure that you lift the knee off the floor first. Don't allow the hip to come off first. So it's lifting the knee, take the leg across to attitude, keep the thigh well lifted here, don't allow the leg to drop in, and then bring the right hip back to the floor and stretch the leg out behind the shoulder and down. And the left leg, retire, and lift the knee across, bring the hip back to the floor, and then stretching straight out behind the shoulder and down. Right leg again, retire, and lifting across. Thigh lifted in attitude, bring the hip back, keep the left leg turning out, stretching behind, and down, and left leg retire. Keep the tummy firm as you lift across. Bring the hip back down to the floor, and stretching out behind you, and close. From there, take the leg out to the side. Don't take it too high, or you won't be able to lift it off the floor. Make sure that the heel doesn't roll in as you lift the leg from the floor. So you've got to keep the heel pressed down towards the floor as you lift across to attitude. Bring the hip back down to the floor, and then you'll throw from under the thigh. And close down. Left leg out to the side. Keep the heel pressed towards the floor as you lift across. Right leg staying straight. Hip down. And then throwing from under the thigh. And right leg out. And lift across. Keep the thigh lifted there. And bring it back down to the floor. And close. Left leg out. And lift across. Right leg straight. The right leg turning out. And lift. And close. Okay, and then just stretching the back out from there. Numbing down is important to help reduce muscle soreness and stiffness. If you're going to do any of the next exercises on their own, make sure that you're well warmed up beforehand. So we're going to start with a stretch for the back. Lying down with the arms out from the shoulders, cross the right leg on top, and just allow the legs to rock down to the floor on the right side. So you should feel a good stretch across the back with this one. And then bring the legs back to the middle, and cross the left leg on top, and let the legs just gently rock down towards the left side. And back to the middle. Bend both knees up to the chest and rock the knees down to the floor. Grab hold of the top leg with the right hand, and the opposite hand takes the bottom foot, and you stretch the knee away. It's important to keep the top leg straight so that you get a good stretch along the back of that leg. And then bring the legs back to the middle, and we rock across to the other side and stretch the right leg out. Grab hold of the foot and gently pull the bottom leg away. If you can't reach the toes on the top leg, you're better to keep the knee straight and just take the leg behind the ankle. And then bring the legs back to the middle. And now sitting up in a comfortable forced position. Have the side knee well forward of the shoulder so that you're not straining the knee too much. And if you do have any problems with your knees, you may be advised not to do this exercise. We're going to stretch over to the side and reaching forward, over to the other side, then tilt the pelvis back towards the floor and the arms go to fifth position. Try to keep this knee down on the floor so that you get a good stretch along the front of that thigh. Then you push up back to the side and reach forward and side and up and again. So we go over and forward and side and slowly down to the floor, then back to the side and stretching forward, side and up. Then you take the body forward, stretch the back leg out behind the shoulder and slowly bring the back up, keeping the stomach well lifted and the knee straight at the back, so that you should feel a good stretch along the front of that hip. Bend the back knee in, stretch the front leg forward, flex the foot and stretch forward over the leg, trying to turn the leg out more as you come forward. Bend the front leg in, take the body well forward, keep the knee straight at the back as you gently bring the back up, keeping the stomach well lifted. And then bend the knee in, stretch the leg out to the front, flex the foot and stretch forward over the leg. From there, you can stretch through the splits, around to the side and then to the other side. So we're stretching over, reaching out to the front, over to the side and tilt the pelvis back to the floor. Try to keep that right knee down on the floor and then stretch back to the side and forward and side and up and again. Arm over and a big circle forward and to the side and slowly down to the floor and then back to the side and forward and side and up. Going into the stretch, take the body well forward, stretch the right leg out behind you, keep the knee straight and slowly bring the back up till you start to feel a stretch along the front of the thigh. Keep the stomach well lifted there. Then bend the back leg in, stretch the leg out to the front, flex the foot and try to turn the leg out a little bit more as you stretch forward over that leg. And again, bending the front leg in, right leg out to the back and slowly bring the back up, keeping the shoulders square to the front. And then bend the back leg in, stretch the front leg forward, flex and just stretching over the leg. And from there, stretch the back leg out behind you and come back around through second. From there, bring the legs a little bit further forward and grab hold of the insteps and pull the heels in towards the hips. So you're keeping the knees behind the shoulders and the back well lifted. Slowly take the legs forward and only go as far as you comfortably can, and then bring everything back in towards the center together. Make sure the back is lifted and not sinking back into the floor. So it's slowly stretching forward and then up and in, keeping the knees behind the shoulders. And lift, and last time, forward and up and lift. This next exercise is a very good stretch for the front of the hip, but it may not be appropriate for everyone to do because it's a maximal stretch. So take it slowly and see how you go. We're going to start down on the floor with the legs turned out. Start with the retiro with the right leg. Développé the leg out to the side and work the leg up so that it's just above 90 degrees. If you can't get the leg comfortably in this position without having the hip off the floor, then you may be better not to continue on with this exercise. Slowly push up through the hands. Take the right arm up to fifth position and then the left arm stretches up and over and closing down. Then retire with the left leg, développé to second, and lifting the back up, and the left arm comes to fifth and down, then the right arm comes up and stretches over and close down, and right leg retire, take the leg to the side, turn the legs out and gently up through the back, stretch the right arm up, and then the left arm up and over and down, and last time left leg up, take it out to the side, turn the legs out, gently up through the back and stretching up, and then right arm over and reaching out and close. Okay, let's just stand up in first position now and see how the body's feeling. Probably the hips will feel a lot looser after all the work you've just done on the floor, and you should feel a lot more aware of a good strong centre within the pelvis, and then the head and the shoulders can relax on top. So now your body's well warmed up and you're ready to start class.